All right, in 5.5, we're going to be graphing the tangent and the cotangent graphs. So like we did before, we're going to reference our unit circle and find out, what is the tangent at certain x values. So notice that we're starting at negative pi, which is basically right here. So let's look at this. Now remember, tangent is the y over x. So if I do tangent here, it's 0 over -1, which is 0. Negative 3/4 is right here. And this would be a 1, right? Positive 1. At -1/2, or negative pi over 2, sorry, right here, the tangent would be what? -1 over 0. Well, that's undefined. So I'm going to put a U. Now, undefined is going to be where a vertical asymptote shows up in our graph, okay? So we'll see that as we do this, continue on. Now, -1/4 will bring us right here. That will be a -1 for tangent. And at 0, be 0 over 1, which is 0. If I keep going around my circle right here, pi over 4, the tangent's +1. Pi over 2, 1 over 0, it's again undefined. 3 pi over 4 is going to be -1. Tangent at pi, the tangent will be 0. And then we continue on and you begin to see this pattern emerging, right? At 3 pi over 2, it's undefined. I'm sorry, 5 pi over 4 is not that. It is +1, undefined, -1, and 0. Okay, so vertical asymptotes will occur at negative pi over 2, pi over 2, and at 3 pi over 2. Okay, now that we know this, we can graph this. So I'm going to take my unit circle off, and we're going to graph our tangent function. Now I'm going to come down here and give myself a little bit more room than I did on the sine and cosine, just learning from it. And if you notice, we have negative and positive x values. So notice we started at negative pi, and we have negative pi over 2, and we have these in-betweens, right? 0, pi over 2, pi, and I could keep going to 2 pi and carry on if I want. Now, let's put in our asymptotes, okay? I know I have an asymptote at negative pi over 2, that's a dotted line. I know I have an asymptote at positive pi over 2. Asymptote at 3 pi over 2. That would be right here. Okay, now if we plot our points, so at negative pi, it's at 0. At negative pi over 2, or no, negative 3 pi over 4, it's at 1. So here's 1 and here's -1. So it's up here. So I'm getting the top part of one of the curves. Then there's the asymptote. At negative pi over 4, I'm down at -1. And then it goes to 0, and it goes to +1. And this is a curved line. And remember, it's going to approach those asymptotes, but it's going to be curved. Okay, then I have the asymptote at pi over 2. And if I keep going, when I get to right here, negative 3 pi over 4 is going to come down to -1. Then it's going to be 0. 5 pi over 4, it's going to be over here. So again, you're going to see this curve, undefined, and I didn't give myself very much room, but actually it's going to just keep on repeating itself, okay? So it is a repetitious graph, just like our sine curve, but there is breaks. It's not continuous, if you notice that. So notice that what is a period? The period goes from right here. This constitutes one period. So it goes from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2 is one period. So what is that distance? Let's think about that. If it takes half a pi to go this way and half a pi another way, that means it's the distance of pi for one period. So what we're going to find is that when we find period for tangent and cotangent, the formula is a little different. So it's really actually pi over b. With cosine and sine, it was 2 pi over b, remember? But with this one, it's just going to be pi. So let's keep investigating domain, range, period, and vertical asymptotes. On tangent, let's just do tangent. Now, look at the range. Let's skip domain for a minute and I'll show you why. Range is continuous up and down, right? It just keeps getting repeated. So my range is going to go from negative infinity to positive infinity. My period is pi. We just saw that. Now the vertical asymptotes. Now this continues on forever and ever, right? We could write for days on vertical asymptotes, but we don't have to. We could do it like this, right? We could say, okay, the vertical asymptote at negative pi over 2, at positive pi over 2, at 3 pi over 2. I could keep on going and going and going, right? Well, nobody wants to do that. And this vertical asymptote will affect our domain. So the way that we handle this, we kind of write it in shorthand. We take the first positive asymptote we have, which is this one. So I would say x equals positive pi over 2, and I would add, what is the period length? So I'm going to add pi. Now, to show that I could keep on going and adding more and more pi, I could add one pi, 2 pi's, 3 pi's. I could do a negative pi, a negative 2 pi's, right? So what we do is put in n. We say n pi. And we would say where n is an integer. So that's our shorthand way of showing our asymptotes. Now, how do we say domain? Well, the domain, if we think about it, is going left and right, right? It exists everywhere except where these asymptotes are, right? So the way that we're going to do this, and you'll like the shorthand on this, is instead of writing out all real numbers, what we're going to do is abbreviate all real numbers. That stands for all reals except, and then I'd put in my vertical asymptote, except where x is pi over 2 plus n pi, where n is an integer, okay? So that's how we deal with the vertical asymptotes in the domain. Now let's switch gears and let's do the same process with cotangent. Okay, so remember though, cotangent is x over y, right? X over y. So if we start at negative pi, which is here, x over y would be negative 1 over 0. Well, that's undefined. At negative 3 pi over 4, which is this, it is still negative, or it's going to be positive 1. At negative pi over 2, which is right here, it's x over y, so that's a 0. Negative pi over 4 is right here, still negative 1. At 0, it's x over y. So now we have our undefined, so there's a vertical asymptote. Pi over 4, it's still 1. Pi over 2, x over y, 0 over 1 is 0. 3 pi over 4, it'll still be negative 1. And at pi, we're undefined, and you can see that we're going to continue on in our pattern. Now, very similar, and it's just the inverses of what we did on tangent, if you notice that. So now let's graph this cotangent graph. All right, so we're starting at negative pi again. Negative pi, negative 3 pi over 4, negative pi over 2. Negative pi over 4 is 0. Pi over 4, pi over 2. 3 pi over 4, 2 pi. Oh, that's just pi, I'm sorry. This one's just pi. So 5 pi over 4, 3 pi over 2, 7 pi over 4, and then 2 pi, way over here. All right, so remember our asymptotes are where the value of the trig function is undefined. So I have a vertical asymptote at negative pi. I have one here at 0, at pi, and at 2 pi. Okay, so if I draw those in, at 0, at pi, and at 2 pi. So notice our periods have just switched over a little bit. If I draw in my points, at negative 3 pi over 4 at positive 1, then 0, then negative 1. Just like before, it's not a straight line, it's a curved line that goes towards the asymptote. At positive pi over 4, I'm up at 1. Pi over 2, I'm at 0. 3 pi over 4, I'm down here. And you'll begin to see this pattern repeated over and over, right? because it is a periodic function. It repeats itself. Now, so look again at the period. It's easy to see this one because it goes just from 0 to pi, doesn't it? So the period is pi, just like it is for tangent. So really, what is happening here? The only thing, if you zoom out and look at the two, look, it's just the inverse of, the cotangent is just the inverse. Look, it's just going the opposite direction. Same points, opposite direction, right? So that's interesting to keep in mind as we continue on. Now, like before, let's skip domain and let's do range first. Our range is going to be continuous, negative infinity to positive infinity. The period we saw is just pi. Now the vertical asymptotes, notice the vertical asymptotes here, we had negative pi, 0, positive pi, 2 pi, right? Well, again, we don't, and we could keep on going forever and ever and ever. So if we put this in shorthand, we would say, you could start at 0, it's positive enough, so we could say 0 plus, what's our period? It's pi, and we would need n pi's. So however many periods we want, we could create, right? So then domain, we would say all reals except where x is equal to, and it's totally fine to just say n pi. It is fine here as well, down here, okay? So these are the basics of tangent and cotangent graphing, and we're going to use these to do transformations in the next lesson.